Camelot, you're in the South.
Yes.
Do you care about Alec Murdaugh?
I try to watch it, but I keep falling asleep, man. It's it's hard.
Dude, it is tough. This trial is moving at the speed of fat sex.
Yeah.
At the speed of smell. Speed of smell.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's hard for me to follow. I still don't even know what the hell's going on. A TLDR is needed because I don't even know. So I'm like, okay,
well, you and the lawyers. I mean, they don't know what's going on either.
Dude's accused of killing his wife and son, right?
Yeah, his 22-year-old son and his wife, who's much older than 22.
Okay, so I'm watching like the defense and the prosecution. I'm like watching it, and I was like, "What's the alternative?" I'm still because I can't I can't really follow along because I'm a dumbass. But like, what is the alternative? What is the defense's argument? Like TLDR.
Well, the defense is the defense's argument seems to be basically he's not the guy who did it. He wasn't there when it happened, and it must be someone else, which would normally be kind of a weird fucking argument, except when you realize that this guy has pissed off so many people, and everybody hates him. And there's tons of people who would want to kill both this guy and his son. His wife probably was collateral damage, like, to be honest.
So what the defense is that someone else did it, basically. But we don't know who.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Yeah,
go ahead, Rob.
No, the defense is basically saying two people or multiple people did it. And they're shifting the timeline. If you shift the timeline, so the timeline the prosecution wants you to believe is that from 8:44, which is the Snapchat video that puts him down by the dog kennels, 8:44, and then at 8:48 I think 8:48 is when the phones lock. That's the last time that Paul's phone locks. No messages.
This phone seems to run out of batteries then too.
Yeah. And then the wife's phone locks at that time as well. And there's no other communications that they initiate or are engaged with. So the defense or the prosecution's theory is that from that 8:44 timeline, Murdaugh's down there, 8:48. And then Murdaugh leaves the property, undisputed 9:06 p.m. He is off that property 9:06 p.m.
Yeah.
From 8:48 until 9:06, Murdaugh takes a shotgun and with two blasts, and I'm sorry for saying this way.
Don't apologize. Get grisly.
Puts one in the son's chest and another one that literally the son's head is no longer there.
Yeah, he carves the Grand Canyon through the back of his skull.
Gone.
And his brain is literally laying at his feet.
Yep. And then walks out from behind this little corner, turns the corner, sees his wife, shoots the wife 3 or 4 times in the back, walks up, kill shot with an AR, 2 different firearms, shotgun for the son, AR, 300 blackout for the second, same configuration for the second, with a kill shot in the back of the head, execution style for the wife.
Yeah, like at point blank while she's laying on the ground, you blam
at 9:06, and then 9:47, he's back on property after going to see his dad, who's terminal, who dies 3 days later. 9:47, back on the property, calls 911. 911 shows up 20 minutes later. And then when 911 shows up, he's there in a white t-shirt, no blood, no trace of blood or anything on his body or person. He is holding a firearm that he said he was going to get to protect himself because he was afraid. He came back and saw the scene of his son and his wife. And has GSR on his hand. Grab the shotgun.
GSR is gunshot residue.
Yeah. And the prosecution is saying that he did this in a cold-blooded style. The wife's phone is found off property in the woods, 40 feet away from where he threw it, across the street. Where someone threw it. The timeline doesn't make sense. And the prosecution wants to basically say that he had this financial house of cards that was caving in around him, and that was his incentive to kill his wife and son.
Yeah.
You shift the timeline by 10 minutes and none of it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can, that's what the defense wants to do. The defense wants to push the time of death back to like 9:06 or shortly after he leaves, and say basically that they died then. And if they can do that, or if they can raise the specter of that, there's no way he could possibly have killed anything. But it's this crazy dramatic story. And there's all this other drama around the family. Like There's a boating accident involving his son 2.5 years before, and this chick dies. She's this hot 19-year-old, and she's dead. And the son's like taunting her brother, and the brother's like threatening the son and all that shit. Their housekeeper died 6 years ago, falling down some stairs, just falls down some stairs and fucking dies. And the guy, so then he acts as the housekeeper's estate's lawyer, sues, wins. Well, gets a settlement for like $5 million, and then he just pockets the money and doesn't give it to her son
against his own insurance policy.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. And he's also stolen over the years like $8 million from different people. Aside from that, and that's all like, so he's made a lot of enemies. So
you forgot about the murder for hire against him.
Oh yeah, 6 months after this all goes down, he hires a guy to kill him. He hires his drug dealer, his opiate dealer, to kill him so that his son will collect his remaining son will collect the insurance money. The guy fucking misses, and the bullet grazes his head, and he doesn't die. So he's still alive.
Wild. You would see now when I'm watching this should all be what I'm hearing. But it's just a lady trying to open a damn package for an hour.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And it's been 7 trial days or 8 trial days now to explain what we just laid out in 5-10 minutes. And
but Camelot, what you're saying is, and this is part of the defense move that I thought was brilliant. So the financial crimes, they bring the case and they have 99 charges. This is 100 charges of financial crimes. And I'm going to make a t-shirt that says this. I got 99 charges, but murder ain't one. They bring all these financial crimes, and then all of a sudden, after the financial crimes are brought, they then lay these murder charges on him. And he waives speedy trial on all the financial crimes and says, bring those whenever. We're going to push those out. And he says, but nope, I'm not waiving. I want speedy trial on the murder charges. Bring those now. You have your evidence. Put up or shut up. And the prosecution is in this position where they have to put up or shut up. And the prosecution's sitting there going, but I want to bring in all the financial crimes. And the defense is saying no, and properly so. And you have this massive battle where the prosecution wants to say bad dude did a bad thing because bad dudes do bad things.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not adding up.
And the only physical evidence is the gunshot residue on his hand.
Kinda. The problem is he grabbed a shotgun that's been fired, so you get gunshot residue on your hands either way. And there's the state's even said there is no direct evidence linking him to this crime. Everything's circumstantial. It's a big mess. But and it sounded really cool, and then it's been fucking boring because they just cannot talk at a normal pace in South Carolina.
But dude, so Camelot, so the dude is wearing Murdaugh. They come back. The police get there, sled. Tons of cops and tons of people at the scene. There are over 30 people at this scene the night of the murders. And Murdaugh is sitting there in a white t-shirt, not a trace of blood. They test the t-shirt for blood. No blood whatsoever. And then they go back and say, no, we want to retest. And they do a test, which is a destructive test, which by doing the test, you destroy the evidence in doing the test to find DNA. And they find the wife's DNA. Well, surprise, the dude lives with his wife. You're going to find DNA on a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. The t-shirt doesn't have any blood, nothing on it. They searched the house, but they didn't execute the search warrant when they were searching the house. The chick goes through in a voluntary search from room to room, testifies that she looks in the bathtubs. Cross-examination, no evidence of a shower, no evidence of anything washing anything down, any drains or anything. Nothing makes sense.
They've got nothing. I genuinely don't think he killed him. I really don't at this point. But we'll see. I think he's going to be convicted either way.